Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thursday. It's the 11th of February, 2021. Hope you all are staying warm and hope you all have the ability to stay warm for the long haul as Arctic air is dominating. What we're going to see here over the next 72 hours is the Arctic air getting deeper and becoming more dominant. It's starting to win the battle, slowly but surely, with the Pacific, as a spoke of Arctic air is going to be coming out of British Columbia, Alberta, and Saskatchewan into the high plains and Rockies and punching way south. This push to the south-southwest that we've been talking about is still on schedule, and our confidence is now much higher. We have seen a convergence of our computer modeling. We're seeing what we normally see in situations like this that make us feel a lot more confident in the forecast between now and Monday. Now, the Pacific moisture colliding with the Arctic air is going to bring accumulations of snow. We're getting more and more confident that we're going to have enough snow to be a real factor for travelers and a continuation of really harsh conditions for you stock growers out there. So our confidence is much higher. These are dangerous livestock conditions. We'll show you some of the predicted temperatures and wind chills that are coming. It's already been a long week for livestock interest, about ready to get longer. Now, the snow is going to be enough across Wyoming, Colorado, Nebraska, South Dakota, Utah, Idaho, everywhere. There's going to be snow and ice everywhere in this region through the next 5 days. These are the current temperatures as of this morning. I wanted to show you this to show you the continental extent of this Arctic air mass. Anywhere you see gray, it's below zero. Anywhere you see purple there, you're talking single digits and lower teens. It goes across the entire continent. So it goes from basically almost the Pacific. It's being held up by the mountains of British Columbia, but it's going all the way out now past Maine into the northeast provinces of Canada. And if I showed you, this would go all the way to the polar regions as well. So this is a huge Arctic outbreak. You don't normally see them with such extent like this east to west. So that is something that is quite impressive. So you can see the nose of the colder air now is getting further and further south. As we go into the wind chill category, these are the current wind chills. Look at all the pink. Where you see the pink, wind chills are 40 degrees Fahrenheit or colder below zero. The darker pinks, you're talking 50 degrees below zero with wind chills. So you can see up here in the border regions how bitterly, bitterly cold the wind chills and those temperatures are. What we're going to be watching carefully is you see this air mass right here. This is the air mass that gets shunted south and into the region over the next 24 to 48 hours. And here we are with the upper level pattern. Yesterday I talked about this tadpole-shaped vortex of Arctic air that we just showed you at the surface. It's this tail right here that gets swung through this region over the next few days, while the general trend of the Arctic air mass, the deeper part of it, is going to be heading off to the eastern areas of the United States. But this tail is what gets swept on through. This little guy right here doesn't look much, but it's going to play a big role as it meets up with the Arctic air going forward. Now, this is today. This is tomorrow morning. Notice the tail. Tail is getting pushed south, and underneath this tail right here, even though it's not blue, the air here is extremely, extremely cold, banked up against the Rockies of British Columbia. By Saturday night, now you don't see the tail, but it's there, at least it is on the surface coming on through. This is a classic setup to make it snow. Why? Because the Arctic air by Saturday night and the Sunday morning will be well entrenched with near zero or sub-zero temperatures to about I-70 in Colorado, south of there. At the same time, that little low pressure system I showed you that was up here slides in and becomes a nice little low pressure system headed towards the Four Corners. So you have deep Arctic air that's going to be banked up like this. Temperatures below zero, extremely cold. Also, the thickness of the Arctic air vertically gets pretty impressive. It gets very deep, thousands of feet deep. As the counterclockwise spin around this upper level low coming into the desert southwest will bring warmer, moist air up and over the Arctic boundary, and that is going to make it snow. if you want to make it snow, one easy way to make it snow, where the confidence that it's going to snow is very high, is this situation. It's basically very simple physics. You have warmer, moist, energetic Pacific air colliding with Arctic air on the ground. You get the right temperatures right at that interface where the Arctic air and the Pacific moisture and air meet, and you get a very productive way to create a lot of snow. And it's a snow that's dry, it's a powdery snow, and the water content, while not high, the snow will stack up and accumulate easily. This is the snowfall forecast using the calculation of moisture and the bitter cold temperatures to create the snowfall forecast. Again, take it with a grain of salt. It is showing some really impressive snow totals. Look at parts of Nebraska, parts of Wyoming, 18 or 20 inches of snow. Will it be that much? Probably not. Computer models tend to overdo snowfall forecasts. But what I want to show you is where you see the blue and the purple, it is going to snow there. Our confidence is really, really high. If you're anywhere underneath that blue or purple, you're going to get enough snow to shovel. Get out the snowblower. You probably haven't used it in a long time. You're going to have to get it out of the garage, and you're going to have to shovel in sub-zero temperatures, as this is a very efficient way to make it snow. So as we work our way going forward, now I'm going to show you what the temperatures and the wind chills are going to be doing. And this is why we have a real concern for folks who keep their pets outdoors, for young and weak livestock. Go on, check on the elderly, check your car batteries. This is the type of situation where some pipes, if they haven't frozen already for some of you, you're going to want to watch it as we get into the weekend. So these are the forecasted low temperatures for Friday morning. Notice we've got a lot of sub-minus 30s across many areas of Montana, and really the nose of the deepest, coldest Arctic air is right here by Friday morning. Notice the single digits getting further into Kansas, further south into Colorado, but the Arctic air tomorrow morning is still held up by the Continental Divide. By Saturday morning, start to see that southward shift. You see that right there? Okay, it's starting to make that southwestward shift. The core of the coldest air is this area right here. This is the Arctic spoke, that tail we were talking about, and it's going to be trending this way as we get into Saturday night and Sunday. And then by Sunday morning, so Friday morning, Saturday morning, Sunday morning, you can see that it gets west of the Continental Divide now, spilling into northwest Colorado, southwestern areas of Wyoming. Now, it doesn't make it into the Wasatch Front yet, but some of that will probably trickle in overnight Sunday into early Monday. So you're looking at some severe cold conditions. These are the wind chills for Sunday morning. So you're talking along south central areas of Wyoming, wind chills of 30 to 40 degrees below zero, minus 40 or colder in northeastern Wyoming and across portions of Montana. Bitterly cold wind chills out here onto the plains. You're getting wind chills below zero now into the panhandle of Texas by Sunday morning. By Monday morning, these are not wind chills, these are temperatures. By Monday morning, we've got the cold core that spoke, gets rotated through here, and you can see we've got an axis east-west here now of some bitter, bitter cold temperatures. Now, these may not be record temperatures, but they're getting really, really close to being record temperatures as we get into that Sunday, Monday time frame. These are the wind chills by Monday morning. Dangerously cold wind chills, minus 40 or colder over a large swath. I mean, look at temperatures down here in Texas with wind chills. That is severe cold for being that far south. So this will be very impactful. If you look at the snowfall forecast for the USA, look how far south it goes. Models still wanted to have it snow on the Gulf Coast of Texas and Louisiana before this is all said and done. And there's going to be a big ice event. You're going to be hearing about a big ice storm along that Arctic boundary. If you want to talk about a textbook ice storm situation, well, we've got that as well. As warmer air gets pumped up over that Arctic boundary, you're going to have snow and ice all along this boundary as well, affecting parts of the Northeast. So you're talking power outages, lots of just nastiness for just about everybody in the USA before this is all said and done. We'll update you more tomorrow with more details, but we're past the point of no return, folks. It's on the way. Have yourself a good Thursday.